Long before memory learned to count the years, in a hill-ringed town called Zalewa, where dawn fog kissed the red earth like a promise, a royal child was born. The cry of the newborn prince rose above the talking drums, and the land answered with celebration. Children ran barefoot through courtyards, palm wine flowed freely, and the scent of roasting yams drifted through the raffia groves. On that joyous day, the elders made a declaration that echoed across the kingdom. On the prince's 25th season, a grand dance gathering would be held, and from it, a bride worthy of the throne would be chosen. From that moment, Zalewa buzzed with preparation. Mothers trained their daughters in grace, fathers whispered prayers into the night, and brothers stood guard over family honor. Every household dreamed of destiny calling their name. Not far from the palace, in the compound of the late chief Mankolo, two girls grew up under the same roof but beneath very different skies. One was Zaina, daughter of the chief's second wife. She was raised on indulgence, dressed in finery, and taught that privilege was her birthright. The other was Imara, born of the chief's first wife, who had long returned to the ancestors. Imara carried herself gently, with a quiet beauty that made even elders pause mid-sentence. Though they shared blood and wars, they did not share love. Zaina was pampered, her days filled with mirrors and oils. Imara rose before the sun, swept the yard, fetched water, cooked meals, and still greeted everyone with laughter. She helped old women carry firewood, knelt respectfully before elders, and spoke with warmth that wrapped around hearts. Before long, whispers traveled through Zalewa. That girl, Imara, she has the grace of a queen. Those words burned Mama Zaina, her stepmother, like hot ash on bare skin. How can the child of another woman outshine my own flesh? She muttered, bitterness coiling in her chest. From that day, every smile Imara wore sharpened her envy, and worse still, Zaina's beauty dimmed beside Imara's natural glow, her dancing stiff where Imara hooved like flowing water. When the season of the royal dance finally approached, Mama Zaina made her choice. Imara must disappear. One golden morning, she called Imara to her room, her voice coated in false sweetness. "Today, my child, we will go to the river. You must learn a woman's duty. The festival draws near." Imara's heart fluttered with hope. A rare kindness from her stepmother felt like rain on dry land. "Yes, Mama," she replied softly. They walked the narrow bush path toward Kachiri River, Imara balancing a woven basket on her head. The water lay wide and quiet, whispering ancient secrets. They climbed into a canoe and paddled toward the center, where the river deepened and the birds grew silent. "Lean closer," Mama Zaina said gently. "Look how the fish shine beneath the surface." Imara bent forward. In an instant, rough hands struck her back. She screamed as the wall spun, arms flailing, before the river swallowed her whole. The canoe rocked, ripples spread, then stillness. Straightening her head tie, Mama Zaina turned back to shore, her lips tight with triumph. "My daughter will be queen," she whispered, "not you." Beneath the water, Imara sank into darkness. Her chest burned, her strength faded, and she believed the end had come. Then warmth. A hand touched her cheek. She opened her eyes to find herself lying on glowing river lilies, breathing as though air itself lived in the water. Before her stood a radiant figure wrapped in light. It was her mother. "My child," the spirit said gently, "your tears reached the ancestors." "Am I dead?" Imara whispered. "No," her mother smiled. "Your path has only begun." With a wave of her hand, Imara's worn wrapper transformed into flowing cloth woven with gold and coral. Beads shimmered in her hair like captured starlight. Her mother handed her a small glowing vial. "Drink. This will carry you to the palace, but listen carefully. When the royal drum sounds 6 times, the magic will fade. Leave before the final echo." Imara nodded. Light exploded around her. She appeared in the palace courtyard, radiant beyond words. Music faltered. Drummers missed their rhythm. Even the wind seemed to bow. The prince saw her, and his heart knew no rest again. "Dance with me," he said, extending his hand. They moved as one, as though guided by unseen spirits. The crowd watched in awe, envy blooming like weeds among the other maidens. Boom! The first drum. Then the second. The third. By the fifth beat, Imara's heart raced. "I must go," she whispered. As she fled, a golden ankle ring slipped free and landed softly on the grass. "Wait!" the prince cried, clutching it to his chest. At the sixth drum beat, she vanished. By morning the kingdom buzzed. "The maiden whose foot fits this ring shall be queen." Village by village the search began. At Chief Mankolo's compound, Mama Zaina trembled, but Zaina stepped forward boldly. When she tried on the ring, crack! It split in two. The elders shook their heads. The spirits have rejected her. That night, Mama Zaina turned to dark rituals, chanting forbidden words. But far away, Imara prayed, and the charm shattered like glass. The next day, the prince himself came to the river. There, fetching water, stood Imara. Simple, radiant. The prince knelt before her. "My heart has been waiting here," he said. The truth poured out. The river rose, light appeared. The spirit of Imara's mother spoke, and the land listened. Truth stood tall. Envy fell to its knees. The prince lifted Imara's hand. "By the will of the spirits, she is my queen." Mama Zaina was cast away with her shame, and Zalewa rejoiced. And so, Imara became queen, not through cruelty or charm, but through truth, patience, and destiny that refused to drown. Remember this, my people. Destiny may wait, but it never forgets its owner.